So for my project today, my mother-in-law and father-in-law went to Tractor Supply and they picked up these rose bushes for $1 a piece. $1. Can you believe that? They may look dead and they may look like that they're on their last leg, but they're not. These are perennials. I am going to dig a hole, put these in the ground, and it says that if you plant them in early May, which we're kind of mid-May, that within 10 to 12 weeks you should have blooms start to form. So I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping that that actually happens with these. We got a variety of colors. This one is going to have shades of apricot, pink, and yellow. Now, we're going to strategically plant these around the yard. We're wanting to put them in places where people won't get poked by the thorns because they are very sharp. So my plan is to put them at the end of the house, for 3 of them at least. This is an area where nobody comes around. They don't do anything in this area. So first, I'm going to till up this small strip right here. And then we will get our holes dug, get our rose bushes in the ground. But before we do that, I want to put some of this rose tone, rose and flower food in there. And this should help. Start it again. So before I put my roses in the ground, I'm going to use some of this rose tone, rose and flower food. And it is exactly what the name says. It's food for your roses. And it will help them to be more vibrant and colorful whenever they do begin to bloom. So we're going to make sure and put some of that in the hole with the roses as well. You can start it again if you want. So that's Austin mowing. Is it? So once we get our holes dug, we will put those rose bushes in there with their food. So start it again. So our first step is we're going to cultivate the ground with our small Ego tiller. Then we're going to get our holes dug for our rose bushes. Then when we dig the holes, we're going to sprinkle some of that plant food in there for them. Set the rose bushes in, cover them up, and then mulch them. So I hope you guys will hang around and see the finished product. Okay guys, so the colors we've chosen to plant here on the end of the house are going to be Crimson Glory, which is a red. This one is Golden Masterpiece. And these are going to be a goldish yellow color. I didn't have white, so we're going to use that. They'll almost be white. And then this one is called Blue Girl. We're a very patriotic household, so we wanted to make sure and have the first thing being seen at our house is red, white, and blue because we love our country. So let's go ahead and get these opened up, and then we'll start digging our holes and putting them in the ground. Tell me when to stop. Okay guys, so now all that's left to do, we got our rose bushes in the ground. I'm going to unload these other ones wherever I want to put them around the yard. And we're going to go load this wheelbarrow with some mulch to put on these. And these guys will be ready to go. Hi guys, welcome back to Homestead Hopes. So it's been a couple days since we started our rose bushes in the ground, if you remember right. So I wanted to show you our final product. So first of all, my husband built these beautiful steps on the porch and he redid our deck, which we love. So we also laid down quite a bit of mulch down in here, and we also decided to go with plastic so that the weeds don't come through and we don't have to mow or weed eat up here. Around the roses, we put felt so that the water can still get down into the ground around the plants and keep them hydrated. And then also in the parts where we put the plastic, we stabbed some holes in there so we'll have some proper drainage. But this is our finished product right here. It may not look like much, but when these rose bushes do decide to bloom, they should be beautiful, huge, and just set this whole area off. Okay, so if you remember, we've got our trellis up and we planted some cucumber plants here and some bean plants here. Today we're just doing a little garden maintenance to make sure all of these plants climb this trellis like we want. So if you see here, we've got some cucumbers, all different varieties coming in. This is a good candidate. I'll show you this one. This one right here, we used some of this Velcro tape. It's Velcro that you cut off with scissors and it sticks to itself. Harmless to the plants. But if you zoom in right here, Dallas, we actually fastened this cucumber to the trellis. Now, what that'll do is that's going to cause this plant, it's going to train it to start climbing this trellis. And what these are called are tendrils. These tendrils are like little arms. They're going to reach out each and every day and try and grab onto whatever's closest to it, which will cause it to go ahead and grow up the trellis like we're wanting. All right, another update we have is to our pepper plants. They are doing amazing this year. If you look, we've actually already started picking peppers off of this and eating them, and they're delicious. They're not spicy, which we were after spicy peppers, but that's okay. We put these tomato cages around them because it will aid in helping this plant to be able to have something to support it as it grows higher and higher and has more peppers on there. We always have a really good crop of peppers every year. They seem to grow really well where we live. Now over here, we've got some tomatoes starting to come up on our vines. We also put some of that Velcro here to fasten this tomato plant to this trellis, so it'll start climbing up there and making it more sturdy and able to hold more tomatoes on the vine itself. This is probably our best plant right here. It's doing really well. We do have a little bit of early blight on here, so I will be trimming this one back. But again, just like before, you don't have to have all of these leaves and branches down here. The idea is to get this to grow higher and higher, and then the tomatoes will just form. And we want this part of the plant to be as strong and sturdy as we can so it can support the weight of the tomatoes. I will tell you, we have had some issues with our green beans. If you look, we've got some nice ones coming on here. This is actually a baby green bean coming up. This is another. And if you look on down the line, we've got some good ones. But we've had tons of rain here. We're in a flood advisory almost daily. So with that being said, here is a new green bean trying to pop up, but we put more green beans down the line here and they haven't started to poke through yet. So we're just going to continue poking those green beans down in the ground, the contender beans, so we can get this full of plants to make sure that they're going to climb up and we'll have an adequate harvest of green beans. And we have some rabbits that are chewing off the tops of our plants, so we're trying to get a handle on those. It may turn out to where we have to put a fence around our garden, to keep those out. Or my husband says eat the rabbits, but okay. One last thing I wanted to show you is our squash is doing beautifully. This is a good indicator that we actually do have a zucchini right here growing. And that's what that flower means. Of a morning, they'll open up and be big, bright yellow flowers so the bees and the other insects can get in and pollinate the flowers, which causes that fruit production. So we're really happy with those. We've got some more down here. Some we had to replant because of all of the rain and water. It washed our seeds up out of the ground. So this is a replant, and these two. This one's also doing really well. So we're really proud of those. Our corn is doing well. However, it did get too wet here. So that's why you see the yellowing of the leaves. But that's not a big concern because that corn will dry out because we are going to get some hot temperatures. I'm sure later on this month or next month, it will be very miserable here through the summer. But that yellowing will go away as these corn plants dry out. Okay, we've also got really good potatoes coming in. Now these need to be hilled again. We already hilled them once, but they're growing like crazy. Something possibly stepped on this one, but it'll be fine. We'll just let it lay here and it'll either come out of it or just go away. But another tip I wanted to share with you is with our potatoes, we're actually going through, when you see these flowers coming on here, this is a sign that it's putting more energy in growing the bush upward than to growing the tubers in the ground. The tubers would be the potatoes. So we just come through and we pull these flowers. It won't hurt the potatoes at all. It just makes sure that that energy is going back down into the tuber production. So we'll have those good potatoes. So we decided to end this video with a little bit of a cookout. We're just roasting some hot dogs, making some hot ham and cheese sandwiches over the campfire, and enjoying this night. It looks like it is going to storm again sometime tonight. It's already been all over the news, so we're just preparing for that right now. So guys, that's going to do it for today's episode of Homestead Hopes. We hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment because we want to hear from you, our fans. So we'll see you next time. Tune in for some more improvements to the house, the yard. We've got so many projects in mind. So bye for now, guys.